Welcome back to the LionHeart podcast, where we learn to have a heart of a lion in this jungle we call life. Back at it again with another episode after a long time once again. But just a lot of stuff going on, man. Like a lot of stuff. I got a new location switch, as you guys can see once again. I got my little office here for right now, for the moment. But yeah, I figured I'd bring another podcast because I'm like, over time. I don't remember what was the last time I dropped one of these, but it's been a while, and I've been able to learn and increase, I guess, knowledge and a lot of stuff within that time. So today, I'm just gonna jump straight into it. Honestly, if you're a returning listener, I appreciate you for coming back listening to this again. This is your first time listening. Feel free to check out all the previous ones as well. This is a podcast all about becoming the best versions of ourselves so that we can get to this jungle we call life, right? Life is not meant to be easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. And I know I've said that a lot of times. So my goal with this is to take everything that I learn and pass it on to you guys. I'm still a young man myself. I still have a lot to learn. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, but I know little by little I'm working there to the future. And my goal kind of with this, which I know I say this every single time, but I want to start getting more consistent with this, but is to bring you guys along with what is it that I'm working towards and where is it that I'm going towards my goals. So that a few years down the line, I could look back at this podcast now and be like, shoot, we started from here, we were given this advice, but now we're here and we got to this point. So honestly, like I said, I'm still a young man myself. I'm only 24 years old. I have a long way to go. I have a long way to get to where I want to be. But simply all I can do is try to help you guys the best that I possibly can with everything that I've learned up until this point. So, like I said, I'm going to kind of just jump straight into it. One thing that I've learned and I've really understood recently, don't lie to yourself. And I know this seems like simple, like, what do you mean don't lie to yourself? Like, what does it mean? Tell yourself a lie and then just, you're going to believe it? No, what I mean is everybody has like a self-perceived identity of what they want to be, of what they want people to perceive them as. So some people want other people to perceive them as athletic, or that they go to the gym, that they do this, do they do that. But then the problem is they don't follow through with it when it comes to that grind time. So for example, you start telling everybody, oh, I go to the gym, I do this, I go work out and stuff. But then when it comes to time to wake up in the morning to go to the gym, you don't wake up. You decide not to go, and then you don't go for a long time. I realize when you put this out, when you're telling everybody one thing, you're putting this lie out there, but you're not fulfilling it, then at the end of the day, you're lying to yourself. Your conscience knows you're lying, and in return, you're not going to feel great about yourself. So this is what I mean about don't lie to yourself. Okay, you got to be true to yourself. You got to be you 100%. If you know that you're not doing something, then don't say that you're doing something, or set that requirement that you're doing something if you're not actually doing it. This is a very important thing that I've realized as of recently, because I realized this is something that's eaten at me a lot of times throughout my life, that I had this self-perceived way of what I want to do or what I want to accomplish, but I don't find myself ever accomplishing or doing what I said I was going to do. And for that reason, I never feel great about myself. I never feel like I'm where I need to be because of that reason. So it comes down to, don't lie to yourself. If you say that you're going to do something, if you say that you're a particular kind of person, then you have to fulfill that. You have to do it. Simple as that. Don't say something and then not do it. Because I'm telling you right now, your subconscious mind is going to take that and it's going to realize you're lying to yourself, and you're never going to be at that 100% that you want to be, that 100% mark. You will feel bad about yourself. You're going to feel like you're an imposter. You feel like you're not going to fit in. And this goes with a lot of things in life. I've learned lying just is something that you want to stay away from. Like, lies, period, take a lot of energy up in your mind and your heart and everything. And it makes life tough when you're always either lying to other people or lying to yourself, lying about yourself. Whatever it is, lying is just, it's going to kill you inside out. It's something you want to stay away from. And this is something that I really had to work on myself. A lot of the times I have this big vision of where I want to be. And for that reason, I set all these expectations of what I'm going to do. I'm telling other people, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. But then at the end of the day, I don't have the actions that support that. And for that reason, for a long time just feel lost, right? You feel like you don't know what you're doing because you're saying one thing, but then you're doing the opposite, and everything's just always going downhill. It never seems like everything can go right. This is what you want to stay away from. But this all comes down to stop lying to yourself. And what are the steps that you need to do in order to stop lying to yourself? Simply put, the main answer is if you say something, if you say you're going to do something, if you say you're a certain kind of person, then do it. Simple as that. No excuses. Get it done. That's the simple answer. But the more long answer, which we're going to go over right now, a few steps, and honestly, I don't really have this written down, but this is just kind of going off the top of my head of what I've had to do and what is it that I've had to figure out. First of all, you need to figure out what kind of person are you. Not what kind of person do you want to be, or actually, no, let me word that differently. You need to find out your ideal kind of person that you want to be. There you go. That you can easily become, and become that kind of person. So, for example, if you want to start a business, then you need to figure out exactly what business you need to start. You need to figure out what are the steps that you need to take in order to get to that point. You need to break it down into what you need to do every single day to be able to get that started. That's first of all. You need to figure out what route that you're going. If it has nothing to do with business, maybe it's something spiritual in your life that you want to get sorted out, then you need to figure out which route is it that you want to go. You need to figure out what is it that you need to do. What is it that you need to do daily in order to be able to accomplish spiritually what you're trying to do. This goes with everything in life. Physically, if you want to get yourself physically in shape, then you need to figure out what kind of person you need to become that. What steps do you need to take? What do you need to do every single day to get to that point? So that's the first step. You need to figure out what is it in entirety, and not just one thing either. I think you just need to kind of figure this all out in entirety. Like, what kind of person are you? What kind of person do you want to be? So you need to figure out what kind of person it is that you need to be in entirety. So this comes down to a lot of different things. You need to just kind of figure out the best way that I could think of it, from the book 7 Traits of Highly Effective People, is it speaks about, think about your own funeral. Imagine that you're at your own funeral and there's 5 people. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read this, but you think about 5 different people who come to speak on your behalf, right? Your partner or whoever it is that you're with, a community leader, a family member. I forgot exactly what it is. But anyways, imagine there's a few people, important people in your life that come up to speak about you at your funeral. What is it that you want them to say about you? Really deeply think about this. What is it that you would want them to say about you after you die? Would you want them to be saying good things about them? Oh, he was hardworking. He did this. He did that. He cared about his family. Or would you want them saying the exact opposite? I mean, he didn't really do much, but he was still a good person. Or he was just sitting on the couch all the time. Oh, he didn't care about his family. You want to really think about this deeply. And this is kind of more of a joking thing, the way that I explained it, but you really need to think deeply about this. What is it that you want people to perceive you as? You need to really think about this 100%. Think about what is it that you want people to perceive you as after you die. And this will help you mold the kind of person that you want to become. And then you simply got to start putting the steps in place to become that kind of person. And honestly, this is going to be different for every single person, right? Because nobody in this world is the same. Nobody has the same aspirations. Nobody has the same personality. Nobody has the same goals. Nobody has the same dreams. Everybody in this world is different. There's 8 billion people in this world. Everybody has different aspirations, dreams, goals, whatever it is that they're wanting to go towards. So honestly, this is going to come down to you. And this is when the times when I say you got to really shut yourself out from everything so that you make sure that you are making your decision and you're not getting influenced by everything around you. And this is times when I would say, get off of social media, get away from always letting other people's, what other people say, getting into your own thoughts. Like, you really need to break away from everything and really understand who it is that you are. What is it that you want to do? And this comes with a lot of different things because it goes off of social media. Social media is a big thing nowadays that people see everything on there and they want to live that same kind of life. They want to do the same kind of thing. That's an important thing that you got to realize by yourself and get away from all that. But also, this comes with family pressure, friend pressure, peer pressure from everybody around you. Some people are in environments where everybody's telling you what you should be doing, that you should do this, you need to do this, you need to do it this way. But you really need to understand what is it that you want to do. Now, obviously, take advice from people. If people have advice from experience and stuff, then obviously take that advice. But you also need to understand what is it that you want from your perspective. Because, like I said before, everybody's different. Just because a family member says you should do something one way doesn't mean that that's the way that you're destined to do it. Maybe you're destined to do something else, but you're getting so caught up in the pressure of what everybody else is saying that you're not doing what it is that you want to do. And this is something that's tough for a lot of people, me included. It's very tough because you're taught from when you're young to listen to all the elders around you and stuff like that. I was always taught respect your elders. So with that came whatever a grown up was saying to me, I listened, I took it into consideration and I did it. So sometimes it takes a little bit to break out of that mold and no longer depend on what everybody else is saying and instead do what it is that you want to do. But it's important for you to break out of this because you can't let other people's thoughts and what they say influence your decisions. You got to do what it is that you want to do if you want to get that true fulfillment in your life. And this comes differently in many different ways of life. And honestly, like I said before, not everybody has the same goals and aspirations. Nowadays, it's famous, it's popular to try to start a business and be rich. Everybody has to be a millionaire. But in actuality, that's not the path that everybody's meant to go. Because let's be honest, if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to have all this abundance of money, it comes with a lot of sacrifice. Relationship sacrifice, time sacrifice, energy sacrifice, sleep. It takes a lot of sacrifice to get to that point. People see it, the glitz and glamour on social media and think all this stuff is real. You don't see the behind the scenes, first of all. And second of all, a lot of these people are faking. You need to realize that it's a lot more difficult than it looks. So if you're not willing to sacrifice basically everything in your life in order to reach that point, then maybe that's not the way that you want to go. But you need to figure out what is it that you want. Maybe it's to go to a 9-to-5 in an office job, come home and spend time with your family. Maybe that's the optimal decision for you. If that's the case, then work your way up in your job. Find the office job that you want and keep getting promoted up into there. The point is you need to work and get to wherever it is that you want. Just because everybody else says it should be one way doesn't mean it needs to be that way. You yourself need to figure that part out. So it comes down to, once again, don't lie to yourself. Okay, you have to figure out what it is that you want to do. But once you figure it out, once you put your plan together, once you put your aspirations, your dreams, your goals together, and you come out with what you need to be doing daily, weekly, monthly, then it's up to you to do it. That's what it comes down to. You can set up all these things. You can set up a vision board. You can do all these different journal, have all your thoughts out. You know exactly what your goals and aspirations, your dreams are and everything. But if you don't put any action towards it, all that is pointless. It's absolutely pointless. You just wasted a whole bunch of time planning all this stuff out for no reason. Without action, it's pointless. The most important step is taking action, which is where a lot of people fail. They'll put together that, oh man, I want this. They have a vision board of a big old house. They got the car. They got the woman. They got this. They got that. But then they're not willing to put in the action. They're not willing to do it even when it's hard. Like I said before, life is not meant to be easy, but it is simple. It's simple enough to where you can put a plan together to be able to accomplish what you want. But the toughest part is execution, getting it done. You can do all these things, plan everything. If you don't get it done and you put all that together, once again, you're lying to yourself. You're saying one thing, you're doing one thing, you're planning for one thing, but doing the complete opposite. That's what it comes down to. You gotta realize this. So, this comes down to the importance of you need to stop lying to yourself. I've had to come to grips with this. I've had to change this within myself. But if you continue to lie to yourself, saying you're going to do one thing, planning for one thing, then not doing it, that's a problem. The most important step is execution. And even more important than that is consistency. You could take one day to execute everything. You do everything that you said you're going to do. But then the next day, you don't even wake up in the morning. You sleep until 12 in the afternoon and get absolutely nothing done. Execution is the most important step. But then after that, the most important thing is consistency. Once again, you can execute 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, a week, a month. But if you're not willing to have consistency for a long period of time, once again, you're not going to get anywhere. Stop lying to yourself. It's the most important thing. Stop lying to yourself. I've had to learn this, and I feel like this is a very important thing for every young man that is out there. You cannot be lying to yourself. If you say you're going to do something, do it with consistency. Put effort. Push. Get rid of all the bad habits. Like, you know what your bad habits are. At the end of the day, you know exactly what you need to do. You know exactly the plan you need to put together. Most people know what their goals and aspirations are. Do it. Execute. Be consistent. But stop lying to yourself, because you're going to put yourself into a bad situation every single time. So, keep pushing. I feel like this is an important thing that everybody needs to hear. Like, every man that's pushing towards their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, wherever it is that they're going, stop lying to yourself, execute, and stay consistent. If you do this, you will reach wherever it is that you're trying to go. But it comes down to, you gotta stop trying to lie to yourself, because it doesn't work. Your subconscious knows you're lying, and in return, it's not gonna believe anything that you're saying. So, say something, do it, execute, stay consistent, boom. Now you got a plan. So, what are we at? A shorter podcast today, but anyways, this is just kind of getting back into the groove. It's been a hot minute, but yeah, I hope you guys found something with this, found something useful with this. If you guys liked it, please make sure you share with anybody who needs to hear this as well, and like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. I got this on YouTube, the YouTube channel, on the Jordan Taylor YouTube channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that cool stuff. So make sure you share with anybody who needs to hear about it, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.